So,
Morning, welcome to the Gresham-Barlow School District Board Policy Committee, December 2025. We have in attendance the committee, Chris Howard, Holly Riegelman, and Sean Barnes. And we have visitors that are with us today who are also going to be looking at some of the policies with us. And I will turn it over to whoever presenting the first policy. JOA has come back.
Thank you. JOA has come back. Board asked for it to come back to committee for further discussion and to do some comparison work to JOB, which you should have a copy of here, so we can start looking at that. I did have a meeting with COSA yesterday, actually, about it wasn't specifically about why the policy changed, but it was about immigration enforcement and the reasoning behind adjusting the policy, and it really is about immigration enforcement. Although we had some really good conversation about is grade level something that would have a huge impact or not last time. So that's why we're back rediscussing the policy. Summarize it well enough for everybody. Okay.
I wasn't here for the last policy meeting, so was there any other updates that came back, or is this the first update that's come back?
I think
Since
it's
then.
that.
Was there anything I missed?
yeah,
Yeah.
before getting back,
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you were there for
the
the
first one, yeah.
discussion.
Didn't know if I missed any.
I don't think you've missed anything though.
And was the big question, John, that if parents want to have the information available, can they individually declare, I want my kids' stuff available? I think that was kind of one of the conversations we were skirting around.
Parents likely could authorize this. The policy does not prohibit parents from doing that. So if I have a parent call me, I would say, yeah, okay, we can do that because there's nothing that says no.
Okay, okay.
To,
Adding information, field information.
Like what you were talking about for people who are trying to do the college thing, the whatever, where.
yeah, for me, the bigger concern was, are we violating our policy, which if we remove grade level, yes, we are at every building and every. So do we want to set a policy that I'm 99.9% will be violated, and to regulate would be really hard?
How would that be?
We share information all the time
I mean,
outside of
social
directory with
media
parents.
From the band department, the theater department, the college and career center, all the sports teams, the choir concerts in grade school, they all have.
And we talked about like
that.
when they come and they get their recognitions and we say, and you're.
Yeah,
right.
a sophomore or
So
senior.
there's just so
sophomore.
many,
Well-
unlimited instances that I can't even think about where we would be violating our own.
Even the Barlow choir who came to perform for us
Yeah.
last week, that went up on social media with kids and grade levels and
Yeah.
names and that would be a violation under this policy, but it's just common practice.
And the amount of people that release that information, it's not like, if there was one person who released it from the office, then it would be something that we could manage and control,
But
but
because
it's
every one of the people that are in charge of all of the
Yeah.
co-curricular and the.
Yeah.
everyone,
kind of stuff.
basically everyone. Any staff member, basically, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't want to set a policy that I know we will be violating, and it would be really hard to stop
And that was my
all the
concern.
people from violating. And then I don't know if we want to be reactive with a policy for something that hopefully will not
Agreed.
continue to be something that we need to respond to.
Sarah, let me ask this question too. I don't
So
remember
we don't know the
from
answer to that, but.
the email from OSBA when I did my first, yeah, that one, sorry,
Yeah.
Sarah Avery. And when I got legal advice from OSBA, Spencer responded to that there are some concerns, not necessarily about consistency, but some other things too. Do you remember that too?
Yeah, and my main thing, like, I think some of the assembly type things and stuff is one thing, but my thing is, identity theft. Like, more and more parents are not having photos of their children, especially their young children, accompanied with their names. Like, you'll see the like emoji over the
Yeah.
face, and it's because of identity theft. And
Yeah.
I in the past as a principal had to be really careful. We used to publish the class lists like on the front doors because people are so excited to find out which teacher.
Yeah.
And that was a long time. It's like 20 years ago. We were like, we can't do this anymore. We have families in our building that have restraining orders against people that people don't
Yeah.
necessarily know where they are. It's a safety risk. And that was before the identity theft got so huge.
Yeah,
And I think it's not saying that I don't know, grade level for me is one thing, but I think we start talking about like birthdays and.
Yeah,
That- and we're getting
birthday's way
into,
more
like,
specific.
tricky.
That I would have concerns with birthday. I think it's a lot easier to still,
Yeah.
for there to be identity theft with a
Tell
date of
them
birth
address, other things.
than
Yeah.
with a
Mhm.
grade level. Like grade
Yeah.
level doesn't really, you could be multiple
Yeah.
ages in a grade.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really narrow it down to one year. You could
It's
be
true.
moved up a year, you could,
You could be
I mean,
held
I have
back
a,
here.
yeah, daughter who didn't start till like, so it's like. They're not always the same age as others in their grade.
Mhm.
Birth date, yes, is totally different.
Is it fair to say that grade level is the biggest sticking point here?
I think, for me, grade level is only because I know, like, nobody's releasing on social media students' addresses.
Right,
Nobody's releasing their
telephone.
phone numbers, nobody's
date of
releasing their date of birth.
Yeah.
Photographs, we
I do,
are,
well, but that's not getting cropped out.
yeah.
yeah,
That's the-
so that,
Yeah, that one's staying.
and nobody's, I don't know about most recent school attended. I think we talked about if that was
That's a.
the school they're currently attending, or is it? What did, when they say most recent school attended,
I think
the
that's
one
more
prior
of
to
a
the one
current.
they're currently,
Correct.
or,
It's just the fact that we can't define that, I'd say leave it out anyway, because we know they're going, if you're at a Barlow basketball game and they're announcing senior night.
yeah,
We know where they.
yeah, they attend Barlow.
They attend, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that one,
So uncross that one is what you're saying.
No.
Because-
No, I'd say
Keep it
keep it
off.
crossed.
Cross
I would
off.
say uncrossed grade level and.
But
keep
what
it
about
crossed.
like, oh, what about these recognitions that we have? Hey, we have the Barlow Choir,
Mhm.
whatever, it's not at the choir event, we're at an open board meeting
Mhm.
saying we have Barlow students.
I think that's
so-
fair.
and that is the social media stuff too, like we are releasing that they're part of a team. You have a very valid point, and I see that, and I know there's custody issues, and I know on our directory form, I've seen, and I understand the reasoning for that. I worked for a doctor's office and
Yeah.
it was very similar there, right?
Right,
My sticking point is not to make a policy that we don't follow.
Right.
Right.
I know there's a box to check.
Yep.
So I guess my point would be, if that's something that we wanna really police, then we have to do a better job of policing it or else not include it, because I have a husband who's a coach and we post on social media all the time, which the kids love, because they love to be recognized for their achievements and to be shown in front of their peers how well they're doing and all of that stuff.
Well, so.
He's never been told by a staff member of any kind, hey, these two people can't have their pictures. Now, maybe he just has never had a student that's been the situation, so maybe there are
it's
some.
very
coaches
rare
that-
that parents say no.
And it's an opt.
Well, and-
I mean,
It's an opt-
right,
yeah,
you
but
have to
opt in.
opt out,
Right.
When you fill out your forms.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just
know what
saying,
forms.
he doesn't see those forms. So,
Somebody somewhere does.
yes, I think somebody in the office probably does,
So-
or the district or whatever, so I think we
So,
either
but-
need to improve the
But the coach knows
communication.
if it's a certain level of athletic deal, that the student goes to that school, that the student is in the appropriate grade to be able to do it, that the student has permission from whoever is their guardian to participate in sporting events. A kid can't just walk on the field and say, I'm gonna be the quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
That's not the
check-
same as the directory check.
Yeah,
Right.
their photo can't be released,
Right, but somewhere,
how would the coach know?
I don't know, how does the
Yeah.
coach get other information?
The
That's my
coach-
question.
They can see it in synergy, it's would they look, so your point is well
He
taken.
doesn't have access to Synergy.
Oh, that's right, because he's
So
now.
he's not access
Because
to
he's not an
Synergy.
employee.
He's
Go
not,
ahead, Sean, and then
Yeah.
I'll.
I mean, he's an employed. coach.
And remember, directory
But not,
information
Right,
yeah, yeah.
comes back
He's not a
to
benefit employee.
yeah,
the original was like your programs that you have for football, hey, or basketball or whatever. like,
Right,
on the team as a
Yeah.
freshman, wide receiver, Barlow High School. Well, if we put Barlow High School, even though, yes, it's a Barlow High School event, we're breaking our own policy.
Right,
And so for me, I mean, yeah, student address, that makes sense. Telephone number, I'm kind of questioning, because what if a recruiter, or whatever comes out and says, hey, can I get a phone number of the athlete?
that one doesn't
That's-
bother me as
It's
much.
written in the
because
policy anyway.
If it's there, I
About
think
military.
that the coach could get permission easily from the parent.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
To
so-
release that, so
Yeah.
that would be on a more case by
I
case.
just wouldn't want us to blanket start giving
Yeah.
kids contact.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is
Mhm.
cross out address, okay, telephone, now that you've convinced me, birthday, there's no reason, because I don't think we do birthdays, do we, on any of the like announcements?
No.
No.
No, we don't have.
Well, yeah, we,
Say what grade level they are.
even on
Sophomore,
birthday
junior.
recognitions in elementary, it's just you were in this month, like it's
Mhm.
September month, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but uncross out grade level and school attending, because those are two that we would probably violate on a regular basis.
And keep in mind, in the under public notice, the district must by law release secondary student names, addresses, and telephone numbers to military recruiters.
And I don't
or
think
higher
that's, I don't,
education.
but I don't think that's really the.
That
That
is
is
just-
really the question. It's more the everyday stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the everyday
There's, I think, can
stuff
get,
is-
that's easy enough to get permission, it's the, yeah, let's not violate our own policy, let's not set a policy that we know we're gonna violate.
Yeah.
Or staff, I mean, not us personally, but,
And on those two pieces, so grade level for sure seems like one to me that we could get. Most recent school attended.
To me, that's just Barlow. Or
Yeah,
it's Gresham, it's where we are now, because that is by definition the most recent school.
Right.
You're in there.
and truly, I mean, we can. This is a little bit of the cynical part, we can control as much of this as possible. But if you really wanna track a student down, if you really wanna find them, there is so much information
Yeah.
that. Has been gleaned
Google.
out there,
first Google.
there's more than that, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that.
Oh,
So if we at least protect grade level, yes. I don't wanna, you know, like you were saying, when we have kids come and do recognition here. We don't wanna say, and we've got kids, everybody clap.
They're all under 18.
Yeah.
21.
Under 21.
So here's what I'm hearing from
Yeah.
recommendation from the committee, and I think it goes back to a work session,
Mhm.
is adopt the policy with the exception that 11 and 12 are unstruck, and keep
Yes.
those in.
Cause I think that's a policy we could
Mhm.
follow, and probably
Right.
good practice not to be giving out kids. I mean, I've never been to an event where it gives out kids address.
I agree with you, and it does make it easier to follow.
And if there was something where a parent said. I don't want any information, but that's a separate form,
And
right?
it is, and
Something that-
they go through that at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year, it's one of the.
My only comment about that is, I do think it's worth looking into, if they do check that, like, if there is an issue where they need. They're in witness
Custody
protection, they're
supervision.
in whatever it is, right?
Right.
Like, how are we? Disseminating that information to coaches and staff so that everybody in the building knows. That's not something that can be
Yeah.
released,
It
and I ask
depends
that
on,
because I have a husband who's coached for 20
Right.
years and he's never been told that, now maybe that just has never come up,
I don't.
very
think it's public
likely.
enough. I think
It's a pretty
different-
rare.
it is a rare
I
event.
wanna make sure that we have a way to,
We've had a family even this year that does qualify. We also have had custody issues and things that
Yeah.
where parents will qualify for similar things, domestic abuse things. There's always a checklist on how much we can share. That comes from the court. So not even once we know that, not everybody's going to know that on staff either. So it's how we adjust synergy and how we put the information in and what the court will allow.
But back
so the
to,
problem with that
is
is,
a non-employee.
it's gonna
someone
get,
who
it's
is
gonna
a
still get
coach.
released.
Even if you're an employee, you may not know those things.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm saying,
So how
Always
can we
coach.
protect that it wouldn't be released?
That, it puts us in a bad spot, always
Well,
does.
okay, so a school practice, one of the school practices that we've always followed is. You never put a student's photo and their full name together in a post unless you've called the parent. And said, hey, we wanna put an article out about Noelle Phelan, is it okay for us to put her
I mean,
name on it?
I can find 100 instances where we
Well,
break that
that's something we
today.
should, just as a best practice, you were suggesting, that's one really easy way, or we took a lot of photographs from. That
Mhm.
where kids aren't personally identifiable that we post, but I think that that's one thing to consider. Also the address and stuff, that's usually PTOs and PTAs that want to have like their own list of information, and we figured out how to partner.
But to your point, we publish a program of athletes. name,
Well, I mean,
roster number.
every
the
single
whole bit.
Instagram account of every sport team
Yeah.
at both of our high schools shares a name and
And they have their
picture.
photo on the roster, or we take a photo,
No, it's just their name.
Yeah.
or we post the photos out here when they get the recognition, like, hey.
First
here's
team, they.
Billy, Bobby, and
Freshman
Susie.
Michaela Riegelman got first team on conference.
Bringing it back to what you guys wanted, because I don't know that we're ever gonna be able to be perfect, but we
Yeah.
can continue to police, is leaving 11 and 12 unstruck.
Yeah,
And then revisiting how we do some things with staff is.
And maybe it's just for extracurricular activities. There's, they have a fall sports meeting, a winter sports meeting, a spring, like, maybe in that meeting, there just needs to be the coaches checking with parents. If any of you want to opt out, let me know now, because
That'd be good.
that's not practice right now.
Once
Well, and
it's,
it would include all of our co-curricular.
Yes,
And it
Yeah, well, yeah.
include-
yeah,
it would
extra
include
co-curricular,
The
yeah.
co-curricular, it would be all of the band, the choir,
Yeah.
any other
and I
thing.
think even our, oh gosh, culinary
Yep.
department, I think, has an account. I mean, there's a lot of social media.
graphic
accounts.
design, other things,
Yeah.
students get all of it.
Yeah,
So I think that, once it gets to the next work session, we'll just take it to secondary principals again to say, hey, this is a change that's coming. What do we need to do next to make sure we're standing by this policy?
Yeah.
And then we'll get that conversation.
and again, I don't think it's a huge problem. I mean, I personally post a lot of pictures with names on Instagram.
Yep.
I've never had a parent, like, they're normally resharing it, so I
It's a matter
think
of
I would
just wanna
hear
do
about
it.
it if they didn't want to. Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're following the
Yeah, agreed.
policy and protecting students that need to be protected and stuff.
So plan wise, next work session, well, maybe not next Thursday.
They.
I still need to figure out, yeah.
Okay, the next work
In
session,
the air.
January.
okay, could be the January work session. And then after that, we'll take it to principals. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
But
it.
I was like, I need to know today, like.
Yeah, no. it won't be
Say
ready.
January.
I think practice.
just, we'll say January work session.
We also have on that work session something else that got pushed.
Yes.
That needs to have more time to make sure. we
Yep.
have time for
Yeah.
that, So.
So we will look at a January work session with a potential adoption of business meeting in February. We will have conversations with principals, and I think we are good to go on policy JOA. We're moving forward to IKJ, which is AI, and for, like I said before, Jeff believes he has some valuable input for this, so we invited him to the meeting today. Yeah, you want to take the lead on this AI
Sure.
policy?
You wanna look, there's two copies, you wanna look at the one that's not stapled, it's double sided. This one, but yeah, that is the OSBA policy with my recommended tweaks.
This one is, this
Yeah.
one is.
This-
Exactly,
And what's this one?
I
The
think
proposed.
an older copy.
All right.
And this is an older, oh, okay, so it's been updated since we.
Well, I believe this is the one that came from OSBA. This is the one with this, that Jeff suggests,
Got it.
okay?
Wait, the non-stapled one is.
Non-stapled one.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, John's confusing.
Oh, sorry, did I confuse y'all?
Stapled one with the colors, that's OSBA, right?
Proposed, okay.
Got it,
We just
okay.
got two copies, one's in color and one's not in.
Got it.
Ignore,
And then I
ignore the
left
staple.
out one of them.
Or the staple, thank you.
But I think the high level is, we want a policy and we want some framework, but we also know that it's changing a lot. And so we don't want to be too restrictive. And so the tweaks that I suggest from the OSBA policy are trying to make sure that we can be flexible in the future. But let me know if you have questions or.
So let's go section by section here. If we're going, we have the preamble about what the board believes about artificial.
Well, so we're, the first part is striking that first sentence, the purpose of this policy.
Mhm. Yeah,
So.
and
we have
that's-
that in it.
and that,
That'll go away anyway.
It goes away,
because
yeah.
That's just the.
Type of
It is,
policy,
yeah.
you know, for
Okay.
us.
the board believes that artificial intelligence, including generative artificial intelligence, is a useful tool. That, to me, any questions about that paragraph at all? Statement one. Independent student use, specifically the rules. I'll give you a second or two to go through that, see if there's questions.
So the detectors, just there's a lot of questions around the AI detectors right now at the conference is where they talked about it, and there's actually a lot of biases in the detectors. And so universities are actually doing away with like turn it in, which has been around forever.
Mhm.
You know, and so because of the
Really?
it they had like 6,000 kids at a university in Australia identified as AI, but it was actually original work. And one of them, at least one of them, was like a person who was graduating and needed to apply for a master's program, but they got flagged and it was too late by the time their application needed to go through or it became unflagged or something. So I think we just need to be really careful with the ability to detect usage because it's even at work, we're really struggling with like, is this AI or is this just like a sentence pattern of a kid? And they were going over like, well, it actually flags African American students more than it does white students, and both are coming from original language, but it's just like sentence patterns
Mhm.
Really?
are, yeah, and so it's troublesome right now.
Yeah.
So I just want to like put that in your
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, our AI steering committee is definitely gonna dive into that. I've seen teachers use it in a way where it's just a like warning to them to have a conversation with a student.
And that's what I was hoping is like,
Yeah.
because, yeah,
But it's not just a.
But it's not like,
I ran
oh,
this
you
one and-
cheated.
We know for sure,
It's
yeah.
like, let's have a conversation about where you got this and how you wrote it.
yeah,
But definitely we're in agreement. I think the committee is in agreement with, okay, we need to not use that as a definitive because those have been proven to be biased and not accurate.
correct. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that because that's always my worry of like, wait a minute, like,
As it should be.
Yeah. So that kind of brings up, so will this be nearly a standing committee because the stuff. I know, it just says that it's additional rules established by following, terms of use. So is that gonna be having to be reviewed as, it feels like it's changing every day.
It is.
And I realize it's, trying to get a handle on it, but we said the same thing when computers first came out and when stuff first and phones and everything else. So will it be just part of IT that you guys will do this on a regular
Yeah.
review basis,
We
not
will.
once every 3 years?
We will have to.
Okay.
Yeah, the steering committee right now is focused on developing kind of the guidance for staff in
Mhm.
terms of how to use AI with students, when's appropriate, when's not. We'll talk about AI detectors and probably also develop PD for teachers to try to get everybody on the same
Mhm.
level or closer together in alignment.
What would be interesting, and I don't have time consuming it, but I was just looking at this, to run some of our policies too.
Yeah,
And see what it flags when we run it through a policy that's been reviewed by a person that has legal stuff in it. And run it through an AI detector,
yeah.
what comes, I mean, it would be a test, it would be a way to try it.
Before OSBA gave it some policy, that's what I ran the first policy through. I said,
Okay.
create one with these elements. Did a pretty good job.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
well,
Yeah.
and the lawyers at the conference would say, hey, we use AI
Yeah.
to help draft it, and then we go through.
Right.
And
Verify the
verify.
resources.
At the college level, that's kind of
Mhm.
what they're saying, like, people are going to use it, businesses use it. If you're going into a business major, you will be using AI, and so it's not about not using it, it's about using it appropriately.
Right.
Mhm.
And the other big concern that they were sharing was that, right now you have a bunch of people who have gone through their education, have master's degrees, doctorate degrees, whatever, that are giving these very intelligent prompts to the AI generators. And what the concern is that if we use AI to think for us instead of think ourselves,
Yeah.
then eventually the prompts will not be good,
Mhm.
and then it won't be helping us. So it's like teaching how to give a really good prompt and how to use AI to benefit your work instead of do it for you.
The critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
To see if you got.
We don't want to lose those
Right.
because we have AI. We
Yeah.
want to use AI to,
AI is
so-
only as good as the information.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I agree, but it's changing the landscape of a lot of things as far as like, it's basically like as disruptive as Google was.
Yes.
Or even as disruptive as spell check, because I mean, like, back in the day, people were like, you'll never learn how to spell. Well, it's kind of true now, but it's not. You all use it in Grammarly and, you know,
Yeah.
everything else, and so it's like, we just
gonna
need to
happen.
teach kids how to use it.
Yes, it comes back to that human element. You have to continue to put the human at the center and teach them how to do it. Even, but Grammarly, like you said there, has made me a better writer.
Yeah.
Because I can critically think through, oh, this is a pattern I'm seeing in my own
Exactly,
writing.
yeah.
How do I fix that? But that's that critical thinking piece.
Yeah.
So is there something different between the Jeff copy and the, because I
Yeah,
didn't
what
see
would-
any right
Right.
off.
Students
So,
use it for class.
This is an
right?
older copy of edits I made actually, so,
Okay, that's why I called it the Jeff copy.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
so,
no, both are the Jeff copy in reality.
okay,
But-
okay,
One is in the approved format, and I'd like to see things like changes are bolded. and
Got it.
Strikeouts are strikeouts.
got it, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
okay, that's
Sorry for the
right.
confusion. I should have taken the old one away. But
Okay, because I was looking and I was gonna
Which one do you want?
I to see what the difference is.
Color.
The unstapled one.
The
Yeah.
unstapled.
The double-sided one.
Got
Okay,
it.
you need a copy of, yeah.
Got it.
So yes,
Yeah,
I have
that
that.
makes
Got it. So as we're looking at student use as part of class, Jeff's highlights and strikeouts are in there. Anybody have any thoughts, concerns, additions to student use?
Are. Will this just be part of when students are learning how to look up research to write a paper for something? Will this just be, these concepts will just be incorporated into that as part of their, and yes, we know this, and we want you to look at that, and just kind of helping kids learn.
It's another tool they have available.
Exactly, okay, okay. So that's how kids would know, and is part of, I don't remember what's in the handbook, I've read it, but I don't remember that. Is there information about, in the student handbook, about using,
In the student handbook, I have to go back and look at the buildings, but it's about appropriate use of electronics and tools. It's not
Okay, so it's
necessarily,
not
it doesn't
this,
drill
and
down.
it's about using copyrighted material. that
Like,
we
yeah,
don't-
so-
So it's all kind of covered in that broad.
All of that,
spectrum,
yep.
So that we're not identifying a specific function.
Yep.
That has to be changed every time.
Right.
Okay, got it, got it.
Well, I liked it, your, district approved, right? I mean, so you're not dialing down into like a specific program, ChatGPT or something. That could change vastly over time.
Right.
And there's nowhere to manage that,
Yeah.
with how quickly it goes. Yeah. So no concerns that I'm hearing about student use as part of class. How about staff, professional development, curricular and confidentiality? Anything in there? Additions, thoughts, concerns?
Mhm.
No, okay, and some of the things that, that I went to was where they were showing staff how to develop better prompts
Mhm.
for students, or better prompts even for themselves. to
That's
write
happening much
things.
more often.
Yeah, that's already a couple of years old.
Well, there's a lot, there's AIs out there that are specifically for teachers to help them develop lesson plans and stuff like that, and it's like, man, I wish I would have had that in my classroom.
Some of the lesson plan development that I have seen is fantastic. It saves so much time.
Yeah.
And it's organized and you can align it with different standards and it'll do it for you. It gives you great work, it can follow-up work.
I think the big time savings is probably the differentiation.
Yes.
To do just in 30 seconds, they can take their existing lesson plan and customize it for their student or group of students.
Uh-huh. It's phenomenal tool.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you're right,
My
I
only
wish I
question
had
would
it.
be the bottom line on the first page where it says the district will provide notice to parents regarding student use of generative artificial intelligence as part of classes. So
That's a good.
how
Yes,
is that
that
loop
is.
happening? Like our teachers
So.
telling the district and then district is telling, how will the district?
So from the district perspective, we would put that in the annual notice that goes out to.
Okay, so just a broad, like that,
Just a-
this may
it's a
happen
broad-
sometime during the year. It's not like,
Yeah,
not like health curriculum where you're saying next week, we're gonna be using.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's bracketed language, so does that mean that it's gonna be included? Do we want it
it's
included?
optional if you want to do it.
I think I would like to, just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure, they
yeah,
need it.
that broad.
and I think in a broad sense, that way teachers don't have to like stop you know, and be like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, I need to send this out. And get
Yeah.
it.
I was thinking it would be problematic if it was like the health curriculum notices that went out a week ahead, like this is gonna be tough to keep up with, but that's perfect.
Cindy, I'm trying to remember this, and this will help you guys understand how we do the annual notice piece is, this is a new policy, so Jade does not have this in that annual notice link, so we need to sit down, talk about what that annual notice is, reference that policy. And the way we used to do it was that little newspaper print, rights and responsibilities.
Right.
Now, because it's all electronic, we send out the link and we can send it out as often as we want to. So once new policies are in, I asked Jade to update each semester anyway, as opposed to annually, so that way people will get notices then. Whether they read it or not, it's a whole different issue, but at least we'll be given notice.
And it's also in parent view, so the first time every year a parent logs in, they get that.
They get that.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll be covered on the notice piece, but it is not in there now because we haven't adopted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so I have two other questions then or comments, but there's a footnote under the independent student use that has, I'm not quite sure what the footnote's supposed to be telling us. And I do think that, however you do that in the notifications and stuff, that it would be very helpful for parents to understand how and why artificial intelligence is okay. That they're not gonna be just subject to the stuff that happens where, it's overblown or they don't understand it, or they just wanna say, well, I don't want my kid using it. We help them understand this is just a tool and we're gonna help them be more thoughtful users of the tool. So that would be, you know,
Yeah.
that's part of that. It just keeps the rumor mill down, but what is that footnote for?
I think it's just explaining what accessibility of programs and technology for all students outside of school
But
means.
there's a question.
I think it's a prompt for teachers to consider.
Okay.
For example, ask yourself, do they? It is worded a little bit strange.
Where are you seeing this? Cause I
It's,
don't.
it's a footnote on number one under independent student use.
Oh, okay, got it.
So it says, for example, do all students have access to computers and internet away from school? Does the age of the students affect their ability to access generative artificial intelligence? So I think it's the parent.
It's
or
training.
teacher.
I just haven't seen that.
No, the format.
No.
It-
Like a
I have
kindergarten
a
is not gonna
question.
be able
Yeah.
to use AI the same way that a
Yeah.
high school student would.
But I
Right.
think accessibility programs and technology for all students outside of school.
Why don't we
is
just leave
understandable.
that,
Do they have
Like-
internet access?
leave
I
that,
think
cross out the footnote.
Yeah, yeah.
So did you get that?
Cross out the footnote.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wonder, you know, along Chris's comment, like, this AI is so new, you know. Maybe having one of your tech summits that you, like, you just had, like, just on AI, like, hey,
Here's
this,
what it is.
here's what it is, here's how, examples of how we could use it in the classroom.
Mhm.
You know, it's not a big scary thing, it's actually a really nice thing, it's a puppy dog.
It's a puppy dog.
We don't want it to grow up to be a.
Have a
Yeah.
tech session, yeah, that would be really nice.
We're removing this
That
footnote.
might be a well-attended session.
Uh-huh.
It might blow up.
I think if we don't want to remove it, we could also just reword it.
It just is a weird,
Yeah,
it's a weird
It's
statement.
interesting.
I've never
if that's
seen
a
it like a
question.
definition like that out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we could reword number one to include pieces of that to make that.
Oh, that's a good.
Well, is that, except it's, teachers should consider the following in establishing the rules, accessibility programs and technology. I mean, it's right there. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah,
If they're saying everybody's gonna do their work on a computer, the teacher is already supposed to be making sure either you have access to it at school, or do you have, because we ran into that when we had COVID and we had school remotely. And we asked the question, do you have access to the internet?
right.
And parents said, yeah, because it was their phone.
Yeah.
And they didn't have access to a computer, which was a whole different question. And I think that's kind of where that statement maybe is looking to do. But that was sort of an eye opener. And we had people who didn't have Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
So we had the buses in the neighborhood. And because we didn't really address that, but it doesn't fit. A sentence doesn't fit the policy.
And I've never seen that in any policy. It's usually like
Mhm.
one and then it goes over the ORS or whatever.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I think it's probably out of place.
I think it's out of place too. As I look at it, I don't know if there's a good way to word number one.
I think the number one
I
is
think
worded
number
well
one is
enough
worded-
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where
I
we
think the
find-
only thing you could do is you could say accessibility of programs, internet access, technology. for all students despite age. I mean,
No,
I think
no,
you could have,
no,
left
it's
it, then it's
simple.
making it complicated.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And technology to me includes, do you have a device, do you have
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, do you have connection?
Yeah.
For all students, which means all ages. I mean, I think it's fine how it is.
So if
To
we-
remove the foot.
so remove the footnote, period, and then we're good. So if I'm looking at this policy in general, with the exception of removing the footnote, there aren't suggestions, we can move forward and bring it to a work session?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, and do we have the, let's see, explicit approval on the back page, perfect confidentiality. Can't use personally identified in application without explicit approval by the technology department.
So that's an interesting one where we want flexibility, but we don't want people to go crazy. So some AI models, they'll use whatever you put in to train the model, which means if I say, my name's Jeff Gibbs and here's my address, I don't know where that might pop out in the future. So, but there are some, and a growing number that have better privacy policies and they'll guarantee that they're not training their model on our input.
Okay,
So we want the ability to give approval and say, okay, this is like a district approved tool, which hopefully we will get there. So
Okay.
encourage everybody to use that. And then we could say you can use PII with it or you can't based on the privacy policy.
Yeah, well, even like Chat GPT, so I use that for work to help, summarize like investigative notes and stuff like that. And we have the business version and it says it does not use to train the model.
okay,
And so like but if you use the free version,
yeah.
It's gonna
you're
be
giving
trained.
them- You're giving them.
And we've moved to, as a system, Gemini, because it guarantees
Or
that we
Gemini,
won't-
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
use it,
Because we have the paid version.
right.
Yeah, and so we're looking at Gemini at work right now, but so. I do, under the violations. I get it, students and staff about maybe subject to discipline and maybe refer to law enforcement, that seems pretty heavy-handed, like. I understand if it's a copyright thing, whatever, but then, okay, I'll give a live example. Spencer used ChatGPT or some AI to answer something in science, was not smart enough to ungray it, so it was really easy to. The science teacher caught it, did like some sort of, I don't know, minor referral or something to a conversation with parents at home or whatever. And that was the appropriate thing to do. It's like, hey,
Right,
we haven't, but like a discipline, like that's pretty,
I think there's instances though where it could need to go up to that, and that's definitely not one of those
and
instances.
so it has to have that, great. And same with what I'm thinking of as they refer to law enforcement, is where someone's
Correct.
taken. Your image and altered it to be an inappropriate image.
well, there is that,
Right,
I
yeah,
get that,
yeah.
So then I
Or
think
it's
that's
still
when
in
it was
that.
appropriate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you, we don't
Has
wanna
to be
be
the-
heavy-handed,
Yeah.
particularly
Right.
a student in
And
middle
then-
school or elementary school.
Back on the staff professional development, again, it's a little bit, to have it the policy. Seek out professional development opportunities for staff to learn how to use it. Is that broad enough that someone will say, I didn't get my PD on it because it's in policy, I'm supposed to have it?
You wouldn't necessarily,
Staff development.
I don't know that you purposely offer PD on AI, even though we should.
Well, it says the
But,
district will seek it out.
and we do seek it out
Okay,
all the time. I mean,
Okay.
we've gone to conferences this year already, people are going. I
okay,
just think it is something we should be seeking out.
uh-huh, share the information.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
10 years from now, when we are all AI experts.
When we all have our little implanted chip.
We have our implanted chip and we're like, oh, ChatGPT is nothing. We have this other big thing going on right now, and we haven't reviewed the policy in 10 years. Are we still held to like, hey, we're still seeking out professional development?
I would,
Or is that a past, like,
We would just, what do you want to call it? Yeah, update the policy.
even now, when it comes to just general use of technology, we're always seeking out improvements. So I think that's just gonna be at the risk of being wrong, I think that's gonna be perpetual over
Yeah.
time. We're always gonna wanna learn.
And then,
I won't be here in 10
I
years.
will not be here in 10 years.
you know what, I wouldn't even take that bet, John. So,
Well, and it's not gonna go away.
Right.
AI is not
no,
gonna go away.
right.
So the paragraph that's just right
Yeah.
above that, then, where it says that, staff are responsible for ensuring their use complies with all laws, including but not limited to copyright privacy.
Mhm.
Is that already a component that we have? They can't take a book and photocopy it, they can't take something, because that seems like a pretty heavy. We better be making sure people are having training if we're telling them and who is staff? Is that teachers?
That's everybody.
Everybody.
That's everybody. And I don't mind keeping that in there, because we should be striving to comply with
Okay.
laws all the time.
Okay.
Are we gonna be perfect? No, because there are so many.
Right.
But we should always educate ourselves on what's the right thing to do.
I just
What's the
worry when
goal?
it says are responsible,
Mhm.
it just puts the bar a little bit higher.
And when it comes to certified licensure, that's part of our
And I think
licensure.
the reality is every citizen is responsible for state law,
Yeah,
regardless of whether you know or
Right,
not. I
but-
mean,
yeah.
But a citizen isn't gonna lose their job necessarily.
They might.
You know.
They might.
Depends on what you do, like-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends on what
depends
they
on
do.
the deal.
Yeah.
I'm all for personal responsibility.
But then,
Yeah, yeah.
like, whatever AI program the district chooses probably would have protections for the staff. You know, like, they're not gonna be generating an image from Disney.
Right.
Often, hopefully, our version of Gemini, you know, so their copyright protection laws are not pertaining to the staff.
Well, and to that point, I gave a presentation and Jeff, being Jeff, saw that one of my images was a copyrighted image and I didn't know it. Just didn't check when I put it in there. And he told you might want to get that off, which I did.
Yeah.
But then I went to Gemini and asked it to generate an image, gave the description, and it was awesome. Better than what I was thinking it was. So, yeah, so I should have done that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So summarizing this piece, we are moving forward, removing that footnote, otherwise, the policy is going to
Yeah.
go next work session as is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick leave, personal injury, GCBD, yes, and we invited Noelle in here because I believe somewhat she has some expertise to offer in this area. The one thing I wanna make sure of, Noelle, that we're in here, cause I talked to Matt last night at the board meeting is. Our CBA for the certified gives more than minimum state requirements in some cases, so I wanna make sure we're reflecting that here.
Yes,
Okay, all right,
as far as like, you're talking about Oregon sick time law,
Yeah.
then yes, all of our. Groups have more than what's provided.
okay. And so I wanna make sure policy doesn't supersede that contract that we already have in place too. Okay, or doesn't attempt to supersede.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this came in, it is not, it was recommended, but it's not required. And since we had time and we're moving forward pretty efficiently this year, we thought we would bring this forward. Give you an opportunity to look through it.
So sorry, I changed it. All right, the bracketed language, the third paragraph, sick leave in excess of a certain number of days
Mhm.
requires. One of these people, and is that currently what we do when someone's out? So how is it different from?
So, the different groups have different, qualifying, reasons. If the licensed staff member is out for 5 days, then we require a doctor's note. If a classified member is out for 3 consecutive days, then we require a doctor's note. and admin and the confidential staff, mirror the licensed staff for 5 days.
So you said classified as 3 days.
Yes.
So,
So our policy says 5.
Mhm.
So that would mean that classified would have 5 days.
It would mean that, but the collective bargaining agreement says otherwise.
Chris,
Well,
do you have the one that has the writing on it too?
We didn't give them.
Oh, sorry,
No, I don't have
Yeah.
I've got all this writing on here.
Yeah.
I agree with Chris that bracketed is not required, right? And so,
I'm not sure. I mean, that's,
Bracketed is not required.
it's not required, yeah.
Right.
It's optional.
I would hate, because we have two different collective bargaining agreements.
Yeah, and if it's
Trying to-
guaranteed by the collective bargaining, I'd rather keep it in that, which will change as it needs to, but.
Well, so we could just take out the word other, and the next paragraph could just start with paid and unpaid leaves will be determined by the district's collective bargaining agreements.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
remove the,
Yeah.
remove the
Bracketed,
bracketed, and then take out the word other,
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
Yep.
That is
so we
helpful.
just default to that.
Because the sick leave is in each. Sick and
Bargaining
personal and injury leave is in
Yeah.
their bargaining agreements.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, so.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing I guess then we lose is the bottom sentence, any employee refusing to submit to such an examination or to provide other evidence as required by the district shall be subject to appropriate disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Is there any reason that we don't want to remove that? Sorry, the last sentence in the bracketed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, is that also covered in the bargaining agreement, or is that something that we should include somewhere else? Are we?
That's not included in the bargaining agreement.
No,
There's been no talk if an employee doesn't submit a doctor's note that they would be disciplined and or leading to termination.
I think we take that sentence, that's a good catch. And put it after, like you suggested, remove other and go to paid. So it would be paid and unpaid leaves will be determined by the district's collective bargaining agreements. Any employee refusing to submit to such an examination or to provide other evidence as required by the district shall be subject to appropriate disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Cause that way we have that ability.
Right, and even if it's in the CBA, you can't just say, I'm gonna be gone for 6 days,
Yeah.
or whatever, you
Right.
still have to have some kind of.
Yeah, because then we're reaching out to say like, hey, is this FMLA, is this qualifying for paid leave Oregon? Is this something else that we need to be aware of,
Okay.
et cetera? So we're reaching out to the employee, and then they generally will begin the process of either applying for FMLA and or applying for paid leave Oregon.
Cause there are times when we run into some resistance
Mhm.
and we need to have.
So we don't want to lose that
Right.
sentence,
Right.
yeah.
And if you were asking for verification, the physician, naturopathic physician or practitioner, those cover the general medical.
Yes.
People who would be.
And
I believe
that
that's
in
in state
law.
law.
Is
That's
that law?
in statute.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay.
That's, yeah, that.
So. Remove the second paragraph with the exception of the last, or the third paragraph, with the exception of that last sentence beginning of any employer refusing, move that sentence to.
Underneath the.
Underneath, paid and unpaid leaves will be
Right.
determined by the district's collective bargaining agreements.
And I think maybe there's. Not here, but maybe at the work session, there should be a little bit of wordsmithing because it, when you're talking about any. Employee refusing to submit to such examination, we're not. That examination is not talked about in the paid, unpaid leave will be determined by.
We could just submit, any employee refusing to submit to
or
legal
examination.
requirements.
There you
or
go, that's,
yeah,
yeah, I'm just saying like there's gotta be.
Put
little
that
bit
on,
of
yeah,
wordsmith.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's language that's in the law.
yeah.
Um,
So let me repeat that sentence to you and we'll see if this resonates. Any employee refusing to submit to legally required. Any employee refusing to,
To provide evidence is required by the district.
oh, okay,
but just-
And that's just taking out words.
got it.
Yep, there you go.
I don't know why I'm, somebody, I would have,
So any
Thank you.
employee refusing to provide
Submit.
evidence
As required by
as
the
required by
district.
the district.
right,
I like that.
and so does the
Take
district
out
have a
submit
requirement?
to such an examination.
we have the ability to ask for evidence. We have the legal
Okay,
founding
so
or
the
standing.
district doesn't specifically say it has to be this level of doctor, it just has to be evidence that you have something
Right,
that's gonna
no.
require
Or, yes.
to not be at work.
And it's always circumstantial, like what is it, what's the injury or issue that the employee is dealing with and what evidence do we need?
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So flexible, but also consistent.
Yeah.
It's written in the CBA that if for religious reasons you don't see a medical physician, you just have to furnish other proof.
And that's-
Other evidence.
That's like a practitioner or
Yeah.
like a,
Okay.
Yeah.
the Seventh Day Adventist, like in, Church of the Scientologists,
Mhm.
yeah. That falls under practitioner as well, so.
So let me get that back again, because that was a good suggestion too. So we're gonna change that fourth paragraph to paid and unpaid leaves will be determined by the district's collective bargaining agreements. Then the next sentence will be, any employee refusing to provide evidence as required by the district shall be subject to appropriate disciplinary action up to and including dismissal.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so that includes, does the collective bargaining agreement reference the paid leave Oregon and?
It does.
Because I was trying to remember, but.
I don't know if classified does. But they're going into bargaining and so they'll be
Right.
changing.
yeah, and some of those laws came into effect after the bargaining, so,
Okay. So
and
in the interim then, because that contract won't be revised until next year, spring, whenever it is that it's actually approved. So between now and then, if we change this policy, paid and unpaid leaves would be determined strictly by the district's collective bargaining. Does that still work with the current classified bargain?
classified staff still have access to all approved
They
state
have it,
leaves, no
yeah,
matter
right.
what. We
Okay.
can't take that away from them.
And we have a policy specifically for state
Yes.
leaves.
Right.
We just approved,
Yeah,
I think.
we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Stand
as
it
a
up.
business, we're required to provide information anytime there's changes for paid leave Oregon. We're
Mhm.
supposed to supply that to all the employees for access in the various languages as well. So
Okay.
we're sending that out as it changes, which pretty often.
Regularly.
Moving,
Yeah, okay. perfect.
moving us forward, to all medical information will be kept. Any concerns with those last three paragraphs at all?
Those three paragraphs are pretty much either what's in law or the part that already.
Agreed, and they're broad enough to where, because Noel had some notes for us. I don't think we need to include that stuff. This is broad enough and we know we're gonna follow those. Like you, and the one I'm referring to is, let's go to that paragraph that says all medical information will be kept confidential.
Mhm.
I think your questions in writing here were about, do we list off FMLA,
No,
PLO?
that's the second, that's the paragraph.
Oh, it's for that paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know that we list that off, that'll change too, but people by this language have access to all of that no matter what.
Mhm.
So as to not jumble our policies up too much. Is that paragraph where it talks about teaching, not able to teach for 20 school days or whatever? Is that in the collective bargaining agreement? Can we like get rid of that? So this is more of a universal policy for all staff versus having to carve out just for teachers?
Well, if this from teaching 20 school days immediately following the exhaustion of sick leave accumulated under Oregon law, placing the teacher on unpaid leave for the remainder of the school year, is that the old language that used to be in OFLA for the when an employee has exhausted their leave? There was a point where if it was towards the end of the school year and or towards the end of a semester, we could hold the employee out and then have them begin. And that wouldn't count towards their any of their leaves, but that's been taken away. OFLA or Paid Leave Oregon has struck that, so that's not even applicable anymore. And
I'm not saying this is paid leave Oregon, I'm just saying this is like if a teacher is out. Unable to teach for 20 days, which would be. What,
About
4 weeks,
right.
a month?
Mhm.
Yeah, 20 days.
Then they would be paid on unpaid leave, but that's only after they've exhausted all of their. Paid leave, and so it's To me, this
Yes.
seems like a collective bargaining agreement thing versus.
Agreed.
And if
Because,
it is already in the collective bargaining, we just don't need to put it here.
because then
Is what
it's
you're
like,
saying.
why are
We're
we,
saying that we're defaulting.
I
to the
see what you're
collective
saying.
bargaining. So why are we calling out one specific thing? And not other specifics thing? Why call out anything if we're just referring to the collective bargaining?
Noel, could you find out for me, cause I don't
But
see
we would need
legal
to verify
references.
that would be in the collective.
Right.
bargaining.
Yeah.
Is that paragraph starting with sickness codified? Is that in statute? And I don't see legal references down here to say it is or isn't.
It just says subject to state and federal laws.
Well,
yeah.
There are a lot of legal references at the second page.
Are there?
Oregon State
Yeah.
Times
Lots
law.
of them.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah.
policies.
Okay.
Yeah.
The-
would
not
be
the
the-
one that-
Oh,
And it is, Oregon September law is in the classified bargaining agreement, I just found it,
Oh, okay.
so that's good.
so Noel. Let me see where the references are. I wanna make sure.
I don't have the H2 with the references.
Oh, there it
I
is.
can list them off. for you.
Oh, and
It's FMLA, but it does, maybe that's Nat versus North Bend,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh.
is maybe the only one that I could think it could be.
No, edits.
It just seems kind of funky, because what I'm trying to do is develop a policy that is for all staff, right?
Yeah, It doesn't call out one specific thing that's in the collective bargaining.
What- Yeah,
So if this is codified in statute, then I don't have a problem keeping it in there because
Yeah.
collective bargaining agreements, we can go beyond it. We just can't go below the minimum.
Right.
So I would wanna know is this in statute somewhere? To find out.
sorry, it's a,
It's the exact part about the 20 days, right?
Yep, that 20 days.
that's funny, or is it just in the collective bargaining agreement and we could,
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not in the collective bargaining
It's not?
agreement that I'm aware of.
No, and I don't think it is either.
Because it's.
or is it even something we follow?
I think it's something that we would follow, cause this is new policy, am I correct?
I am not familiar with this.
It's
Proposed. It's a
It's a proposed, yeah.
Yeah.
We do not currently have this policy adopted.
Okay,
So,
So we would be adopting that 20-day rule then,
We would
what you're
be,
saying.
Mm,
which is why I wanna know if it's in statute, cause no matter what, if it's in
Right.
statute, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's no harm, no foul keeping the language in there.
yeah,
And it gives us a point to negotiate from if we wanted to negotiate further with our bargaining units as well. So let's do this. We don't need to forward this to a work session yet. Let's do a little bit more research, see where we are on statute.
mhm.
And then if we need to, we'll bring it back. And if it's something we don't really need to do either, we can figure that out too.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, and it does, and that, even the last paragraph of all district paid employee benefits such as health and dental insurance will cease on the last day of the month in which employment is terminated. That is part of practice.
No,
No?
so if an employee, let's say they resign and they pay their insurance through October pays for the next month, so the following month would be, the last day of the following month is when their insurance would end.
Because it's paid in advance.
so if this doesn't.
So is that part of collective bargaining?
Yes.
So
so maybe that needs to be
I
struck.
have this.
Yeah. So let's go
Do you
back,
have to
you and I
collect-
can sit down a little bit more, you, Sarah and I, and let's just make sure, do we even need this based on our current practice?
And so, just reading that very last sentence on that page, the staff member will be informed that they can remain a part of the district benefit plan at personal expense.
So when,
That's so.
That's
Yeah.
cool, right? That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's another acronym.
Yeah,
yeah,
All right.
It's in
yeah,
the 20 days, it is in here.
20 days in statute.
Mhm. It's at the 342-545.
Mhm.
This one here. It's a sufficient reason to place them on leave without pay, because you're entitled to the leave, but you're not entitled to the paid leave.
Yeah.
So we don't terminate you.
unless they apply for donation from the sick leave bank, then they have that,
Yeah,
and that can,
And it
but
does
that's
say
an
though,
extension of law.
if
as
they've
opposed to-
exhausted, yeah, everything.
Yeah, and that, we're allowed to extend that and create that sick bank, but now you and I need to sit down, let's just go down, we'll
But
go
that's
over all
the
of
statute,
this.
I'll put it in the notes,
Thank
but
you.
it is
So
noted
is
in a
it the-
policy.
It's the 3, 4,
3, 4, 2,
2, 5,
5,
4,
4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sickness or unavoidable circumstance, pretty much word for
Oh,
word.
it's the one that's got the big P on the top of it.
Yeah.
Why you can't read it?
They have to be unable to teach for 20 days
Got it.
after exhausting every possibility.
No, I'm knowing that you're in this every day. When we sit down and talk, it's really, the question is this helpful to us or not, since it's already in statute?
Mhm.
So you and I can have that conversation, then I'll bring it back to this group, okay?
Can we look really quickly at that first sentence, the sick leave is allowed, our groups. 2 groups are front loaded and 2 groups are actually on an accrual basis. So it says, accrue at a rate of 10 days, blah, 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 blah. The license, get 14 days that are front loaded. And then the admin staff receive 12 days that are front loaded, and then classified and confidential accrue.
And let's
Every month.
help them understand why we front load 14. So up until the last bargain, we used to front load 10.
Yes,
And then in the last bargain, we converted the family illness days to sick days, so we front load that and it makes it cleaner
All
for
sick
us.
days.
4 days to sick, 1 day to personal, and so now they get the 14 days.
So does that paragraph need to be? kind of
Yeah,
Fixed?
it needs to default to collective bargaining
And is
Right.
there another one? Yeah, where. it
because we have
says-
multiple collective.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe this policy is not one that we adopt. It's
I'm-
we're here
I'm starting to be with.
crossing like
If
so
this is
many.
proposed, yeah,
Take
but it's.
everything out.
Yeah, I think, if it's okay with the committee, and I was the one that brought this forward, because it was,
Yeah, it's
it
proposed.
wasn't, yeah, it was proposed,
Yeah.
I would say that we don't need to deal with this policy.
We just
Yeah.
default to our collective
Yeah,
bargaining.
Yeah, and then that keeps people looking in one spot for
Yeah.
the same information that's gonna be.
Instead of us having a policy that contradicts our collective bargaining.
Yeah.
So Noel, now you may
Yeah.
not have
Yeah.
to meet with me.
Yeah.
individually. The next one is also a suggested policy from OSBA, military leave of
Well,
absence.
we'll see what we think about it.
Believe me, I'm aware.
Yeah.
The military leave is referenced in the CBA, but not in detail.
Mhm.
And we use the law to guide military leave too. I don't have a problem including this in here because it does help us
Mhm.
if we run into it.
It just provides kind of a step by step.
It does, it provides the legal definitions and other things, so if somebody is called up, this just gives us our guidelines to operate by.
And this is all in federal and state. law.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
the other thing I think should include is OMFLA and then pay leave Oregon for qualified extensions. If they're going, I mean, maybe to mention it in here somewhere if it's possible,
Mhm.
because there are also state leaves that would,
Did it apply to military leave?
apply- yeah.
Really?
military leave.
Didn't know that.
Is it the ORS 408, that one at the top, maybe? Or no, I'll check it.
Or wait, 290.
290. Yeah, I'm just
Well, I
gonna
was
see
gonna
what that
say
one
that
says.
would be a place where we could list it. We could, the
In
next
there.
sentence right after that, or as an employee may use any accrued vacation
Or similarly.
or similar leave during the period of extent, we could list it there if we needed to.
Well, and then maybe that, all that UMFLA and whatever, is covered by may use any accrued vacation or similar leave, like any
It might be.
leave, like.
Or,
Whatever
yeah.
leave is out there.
Instead of
just-
saying similar, we could say or available leave.
Yeah,
Where's that? one?
an employee may use any available leave
Yeah,
during the period of service, as opposed to saying vacation.
Similar, what does that mean?
yeah, what's similar?
Because we don't have vacation days, we have personal
Right.
days.
Yeah,
So I think that is probably based off the federal law, which is looking at like a lot of your private companies that have vacation days, but we
Or
just
sick
call it.
leave or whatever, so they're current,
Yeah.
so they're going late, sure.
Yeah, so I think maybe we just say any accrued leave.
Yeah, and it does say the last sentence, military leave shall be in addition to any other leave the employee is entitled.
Yeah.
So,
Are we in the second paragraph?
Yeah.
You guys really- Okay,
and OMFLA is unpaid leave, just so you know.
oh, yes, okay, so,
It just means you don't lose your job, and it says on the.
Well, that's
last
okay,
page,
that's
You
okay.
don't lose.
You don't lose your job.
You don't lose your seniority. You don't lose some.
they'll be in addition to
Wait,
the.
any
As
other-
long as you return back after your time of service.
Talked about in the statute, they're still entitled to gather getting all of their other leave as they're
Okay.
working.
So the sentence that Sarah's referring to there, it says military leave shall be in addition to any other leave the employee is entitled. So I think
That
that
needs to
covers,
be there.
covers all of that.
I think that covers what we were talking about anyways. So
Agreed.
Okay.
I just think the term similar leave is interesting
Mhm.
or not necessary. An employee may use any accrued
I just think,
Leave.
I just take out
during the
vacation or
service
similar.
exceeding 21 days. Military leave shall be in addition to any other leave the employee is entitled. I don't know what similar leave is, similar to accrued vacation.
Where are we again on that?
So on the second paragraph,
Okay,
Right after the
oh, got it.
just say an employee may use any accrued leave
during the period of service.
and take out the qualifiers vacation or similar.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
Because we have so many different leaves.
So
And
that
it's more
last
broad
sentence
and it's not like,
Yep.
what does that even mean?
Right.
so, reading
Well,
that paragraph again to everyone.
Well,
An employee may apply for military leave of absence from duties for up to 21 work days in any one training year or in accordance with ORS 48290. An employee may use any accrued leave during the period of service exceeding 21 days. Military leave shall be in addition to any other
There we
leave.
go. Because then you're not.
And
putting
that's,
one of-
that's guaranteed under this.
And that's
408,
guaranteed under
290.
408.
This is in statute.
That's just.
Yeah.
They're able to use sick leave. I just want to make sure we're not putting ourselves in.
Any-
They are, any leave.
Got it. So then that,
It's federally protected.
So then as long as we have.
that statement of any accrued leave would be accurate versus trying to define
Or in
vacation or
accordance
similar.
with- This is in part of that.
Particularly
ordinance,
employee
when I
vacation,
think
then
that-
the employee must assume that it was similar.
No, this week, last sentence, right? Sarah, you said the last sentence. was that
It's called PTO
military
now.
leave shall be in addition to any other leave the
We
employee.
don't have
An
that.
option, yeah, so. The original law is that after the 21 paid days, they're placed on leave without pay. However, there's an option to use accrued leave.
Right.
And that could include vacation, personal,
So any other
compensatory
leave
time.
that The employee is entitled.
Right.
So
What we
that's in
just
the
said up
statute.
here.
I think it's the option of the person to
Any
use their
accrued
other leave,
vacation
just
or
like if you wanted
Well,
to
yeah, so
extend your
this is
maternity
during the
leave or something,
21
you can
period,
use
and
those
this is
days.
after.
During
Can
the
use your
period
personal leave.
exceeding 21 days.
Well,
Says
it
right there.
Depends, I mean.
There's always difference.
So you're
It would
just
be
saying that is
awful,
repetitive.
perhaps,
that
Yeah.
Disability.
they use.
There's just so much, there's so many
Talking about
nuances to this.
vacation,
So
so similar.
Yeah.
Right now,
Hang on,
she
everybody.
figures out the,
So.
I'm struggling to track all the conversations here, so.
The second paragraph has some. It's confusing.
If we leave the sentence after the ORS, that sentence, starting with an employee, is redundant to the sentence that says military leave shall be the last sentence. They're saying the same thing then.
Right,
They have access to all of their accrued leave after the 21-day period.
and you can use any of the leave.
Any of them, but that's
So
basically
that
saying the
paragraph
same
just
thing.
needs to be kind of straightened out.
So if we took out the last sentence of military leave shall be in addition to any other leave, the employee is entitled, that would clear it up.
Except I think that sentence is more clear than the one before it.
That might be,
Because there's an employee may use any accrued,
it's
Leave.
not, it's actually not sick leave.
so they
not
can use
sick
any accrued leave.
So then that wouldn't be accurate because they can't use sick
Sick leave.
leave.
It would be personal.
So,
Type.
Or
ma-
vacation.
okay,
Some of us 12-month employees have vacation.
That's true.
all right, so I guess
So if you guys
vacation or
want to
similar
rewrite it,
would be
please.
correct
right.
because we have the personal, which is similar.
so then we leave vacation or similar in, I see
Yeah.
that.
Typically
Okay.
excludes the use of sick leave.
Okay. Military leave should be in addition to any other leave.
So it says any other leave.
Well,
you
that
have
would
sick
go
leave.
into the unpaid leave that she's talking about, like the
It would.
military leave is in addition to the unpaid. leave.
But if I was reading this, military leave should be in addition to any other leave the employee is entitled. If I'm entitled to sick leave, but you're saying I can't use sick leave.
Statute,
Oh,
So that's an incorrect, because I would look at that, I wouldn't go look at the statute. I would look at it and say, how come I didn't get my extra 12 days from my sick leave that was accrued? That's similar to vacation, I accrued it.
you,
I think
you
that
do
paragraph needs to
accrue, you still continue to accrue your leave. It's just saying
That you can have your
it's
military.
additional, like it's,
Yeah.
you don't have
But
to
you just said that you
replace.
can't use sick leave,
You cannot to extend beyond the 21 days, you cannot use sick. leave.
so that paragraph to me is not consistently written and it's confusing.
So maybe the team goes back kind
With the
of
wordsmith.
wordsmith
Yeah,
a little
so
bit
that
and then
matches
take it
the
back.
statute, so that it's clear you can't use sick leave with military leave, that you can use up all your vacation time if you want. Cause I don't know what else would be similar to vacation time.
Well, it
It's
would
not
be,
sick leave.
well, the teachers don't have vacation, they have personal days, but
Yeah.
I guess like some
And they have
classified staff
non-paid
have
days and.
vacation days.
And
And
admin.
even admin has non-paid days, which are similar to
Which means
vacation.
that you don't lose your seniority or
Yeah.
your job because you're still on the books,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Sarah will fix it. And by Sarah, I mean Sarah's boy.
I'm on it.
So, yeah, that's just,
We'll take this, we'll wordsmith it, bring it back to
Yeah.
you all.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
you can, under OMFLA, use your own sick leave. So that would qualify under
That
this.
would qualify under,
What's umful?
Is Oregon Medical Family Leave Act.
Okay.
I mean, it's Oregon Military Family Leave Act, sorry.
We have a lot of.
We'll weed through it,
okay.
because
Okay.
there are always nuances, like if you,
We will
I'm not
come
gonna
back.
say, there's so many if.
That's why it just maybe needs to be a little bit more broad, or just leave the statute in there. An
Mhm.
employee may apply for military leave of absence. In accordance with ORS 408-290, maybe
Yeah.
we just say that.
Adopt it because it's in statute and we don't currently. have
That's true too.
policy.
We could come back to that same deal of not adopting it.
Yeah.
but I do like to have something where it's easy for these people to be like, okay, well, here's the process. When you're going out on leave, and here's the process when you're coming back from your military service.
Well, and if it's as simple as directing them to the ORS, it at least is a point to say like, oh, there is such a thing as military leave of absence, and here is where I go to find out all of the nuances.
But, I like having it in a consistent place with all the rest of, because.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all-
that's, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Put it in
Yeah,
the policy, but
Yes, yes.
make it a very simple, broad policy that just directs it to the ORS.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay,
Because because ORSs are not simple for people to look at. I want someone to say, here's what Gresham-Barlow is going to do, and
Yeah.
I could go
Yeah.
verify with the ORS if I want to, but I don't wanna have people interpreting an ORS.
And have it done, that's why I
Yeah,
like this,
And
this like
setting up an expectation that's not quite right.
3 or 4 step process or whatever, going out on
Yeah.
leave and another 3 or 4 steps. coming
Because that's
back from leave.
consistent with the rest of our policies. We reference an ORS that says, here's what we came up with this. Unless it's a policy that we have just independent, but otherwise we don't say,
We'll wordsmith it.
Yeah.
We'll wordsmith it and bring it back.
okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, we have no other policies to discuss with you today.
Woo. We try that and see if you can. That was good.
Summarizing, we're bringing the directory information forward, and we're bringing AI forward, and then we're taking sick leave and military leave. Sick leave's off the table, military leave, we are going to
Oh,
wordsmith.
FLA.
All right.
So should we
Didn't
schedule
have
the
to
next?
anything, we just
Additional-
We should.
reading off stuff.
Let's look at,
Sometimes I'm-
in
I don't know.
January, we have, we do want to schedule the next one there, Sarah. And in January, if we're looking at the 9th, or the 16th, at the peril of potential weather.
I was just gonna say, do you have the ice storm schedule?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't. What's the 16th look like for everybody?
16th would be better.
I will not do the 16th because I have surgery on the 15th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right,
So I probably may not even be at, if I am at all at the meeting on the 22nd, it would be virtually.
okay.
But I may not even be at, because I might be on some nice drugs
Yeah.
at that point. and-
We may want you to attend the meeting.
You may want to attend the meeting, yeah.
That policy, really happy. It just seems like the 9th would be too soon. We're coming back
Right after-
holiday,
Yeah.
right after a board meeting. It just feels
For
like.
the
You
23rd.
guys are more than welcome to meet
Although
on the
that's
16th.
again right after that.
But it's
That's
after
also
work
my
stuff, a
anniversary.
little bit
Oh, it's
different
your
than a
I don't know what I'm
than a
doing.
business meeting.
But-
So which one do you three prefer, 16th or the 23rd?
Yeah, if we do the
You have a
16th, we can just not do the interesting policies and not say.
We
We
should,
can say the
well,
good ones.
Well, and you might not be
Unless
ready
we're
for the
gonna-
third.
I think
either,
we should
you
be
know,
pretty
that-
good. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like.
Yeah.
The 9th I will be here, probably anytime the rest of January, I am out.
Well, is the 9th too soon?
I think the
For
ninth,
you guys?
because it's right after holiday.
The ninth
and
is
it's the
probably
night
too
after
soon.
the board meeting.
And to Cindy's point, I have a reunification we're gonna practice reunification, so I have a GPD fire department meeting on the 16th, so I'd probably prefer the 23rd.
Okay, so the 23rd.
Yeah.
But, and you know, maybe by then I will be.
Yeah.
Virtually,
Determine what's best
Really?
for you at that.
I'll be really happy at 8 a.m. Attending online. Who knows?
I could even suggest moving it to 7 a.m. What do you think, kid?
Wow.
You're not gonna be there. Not yourself.
11:00 at night, that would fit my schedule.
No. I wonder if Holly could be more clear about the feeling about my suggestion.
Let me tell you how I really feel,
So the 23rd at 8 a.m.
I guess.
All right,
And is that gonna be able to be in this room or is it in the small?
it'll be in this room.
No, it will not be in this.
Why
room,
not?
Because assistant principals have a meeting in this room.
We'll be in the small conference room,
Supposed to
so
be at that.
In that little tiny room,
I'll split my time.
the closet that we
the
were in
closet
last time?
that we were in last time.
That's the
Oh,
business
that
office
one.
east.
Wait,
That's the
And
small
what is,
office room.
so
Which
what
one are
is
you
the
wanting?
name of that?
Let's do
Like,
business conference at
we
room
need to
east.
call that one like the sunset room and
Yeah.
the ocean
Yeah.
room.
We
Instead
have
of
the
calling it the
breezeway.
little conference
Yeah.
room. I like
Look, I can't keep track of the titles as is.
There's more seats in there.
Which one's bigger?
Isn't
We'll try it.
this one big?
The small conference room is actually bigger than the business office east conference room.
Which do you prefer?
Or how about kick
Which is easy
Tracy
to
out of
fit
her
in the
office and
We
you
do
just
that.
meet in there?
Tracy will probably be in here.
I prefer the business office conference room because when we use the owl, then the cameras are up.
Oh.
I don't want people to
Oh,
look
that's
into the
true, yeah.
building, so
Yeah.
let's just do the business office conference room.
That's a good.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, I will send the meeting invite.
all righty, everybody, thank
Oh, yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Room we're in, so when I get here.
We'll
I'll
tell you.
Start looking
Let's
for
get it.
people.
We'll tell you.
Yeah.